Hello, this is Sully Taylor with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you're watching the Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We are here today to talk with candidates running in the November 2022 general election. We are grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Saling Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the WISE Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me is Jessica Vega Pederson, who is running for chair of the Multnomah County Commission. Welcome, Commissioner Pederson.
Thank you, Sully.
So to start us off, please tell us a little about yourself and why you are running for office, this office.
Sure. Yeah. So I think an important thing to know about me is that my family and I have lived in East Portland for the past 17 years. We have lived in the same house on the same block, but it is a rapidly changing community. My neighbors in East Portland are the frontline workers who kept us afloat during COVID. And in East Portland, we have experienced some of the highest levels of gun violence and traffic fatalities in the county. And we do this while living in a part of the city that's ignored and underinvested. And I ran my first campaign for state representative because of this inequity, on our lack of sidewalks and opportunities for my community. People came together to support me, and we got sidewalks and a whole lot more for the folks of East Portland. I have that experience, the record of accomplishment, and the vision to meet this unprecedented moment we find ourselves in and lead Multnomah County in the right direction. I bring people together to get big things done. That's what I do. And that's why I have the broadest and deepest coalition of organizations and community leaders in this race who know that I'm the best person to lead Multnomah County forward. I would say that my track record as an elected official is hallmarked by my success in breaking new ground. I've been doing that since my first day in office. As Oregon's first Latina representative, I passed the Coal to Clean bill, which was a first in the nation law to transition us off of coal-fired power. And at the county, I started the practice of bringing business leaders and community members and schools together to engage deeply to successfully site shelters in neighborhoods. And of course, I led the work on preschool for all, which has set a national standard for universal quality preschool. And at this inflection point that we find ourselves in, from our homelessness crisis to combating climate change to increasing community safety and addressing systemic racism, we need a county chair who is a proven leader, somebody who has the experience and relationships to bring the county, the city, metro, and the state together to work on concrete solutions that actually make results. And that's really who I am, and that's why I'm running for county chair.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner. Could you tell us what is your philosophy of the role of the chair of county commission?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people don't know exactly what the county does or what the role of chair is about. The chair is the chief executive of Multnomah County, who is responsible for managing thousands of employees and for developing a multi-billion-dollar budget. This last year, there was a $2.8 billion operating budget for the county. So as the leader of the state's third largest government, the chair also needs to be comfortable being a key convener of leaders and stakeholders, ready and able to craft solutions to some of our states and our community's greatest challenges. So the chair needs to both be able to marshal elected leaders, to create solutions that work for those things. They have to be able to bring people together and have those governments function in concert, to be able to create a vision for addressing, and bringing to bear, solutions on climate justice, economic, racial justice issues, on our housing and homelessness and behavioral health issues. And as chair, I really will build on my experience of collaborative co-creation, leadership, and getting results to address, because I really think that the chief executive of Multnomah County has to really be a leader both of the government itself and a regional and state political leader to make sure that governments are working well together.
Thank you, Commissioner. You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast of Jessica Vega Pederson, who's running for chair of the Multnomah County Commission. A following question. The next question. Multnomah County experienced a disproportionate number of deaths among homeless individuals compared to other Oregon counties. How would you assess current efforts to assist people without access to housing, and what more could be done?
Yeah, as county chair, the housing and homelessness crisis will be my number one priority. I would say that our current efforts have not been successful in addressing the magnitude and the acuity of what is happening with people who are living unsheltered. And tragically, the number of deaths experienced among homeless individuals, whether that's through gun violence, whether that's through overdoses, whether that's through traffic fatalities or exposure, that reflects that. So, I've always believed that we need a comprehensive approach to address this issue, that we have to be keeping people housed who are at risk of experiencing homelessness. We have to help people who are living unsheltered off our streets and into safer, more stable areas. And we have to ensure that we have access to supportive housing services, and we have to grow our housing stock in order to make sure that we have places for people to live. Right now, we are still working under a system that has been built by piecing services together without adequate funding or coordination between the people, the providers, and the government. With the supportive housing services measure, with additional investments at the state and federal level, we now have funding to make systemic improvements and make a measurable and significant difference in helping people who are experiencing or at risk of experiencing homelessness. As chair, I'll expand on these investments and really work to bring online new data systems that track our successes and identify where we have areas that we need improvement, because this is going to be, it's not like you solve the problem of homelessness one time. This is an ongoing effort. And so we need to be continually looking at how we're doing and how we can improve the system to make it work better for everybody. I think that another key is, as chair, is just improving and prioritizing the coordination between our different levels of government so that we can safely get people into housing and also address the impacts of camping that we're all seeing in our city and in our county. And I will definitely be a strong advocate at both the state and federal levels for better policies and more funding to address this crisis in a way that that they have the resources to bear that we don't have right now.
Thank you, Commissioner Vega Pederson. This concludes our video voters guide and podcast interview of Jessica Vega Pederson, who's running for chair of the Multnomah County Commission. Election day is Tuesday, November 8th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and exercise your right to vote. Thank you for your interest.